Hi. For the past few videos, I've been talking about preparing for fourth quarter. And today, I want to address the issue of mindset. If you're new to the channel, I'm Sherry from SherryLouMiller.com. And here on my channel, we focus on the micro principles: mindset, intention, choices, action, and habits, all as a way to create financial flexibility in your budget. And by doing that, you're increasing the gap between earning more and spending less. So let's get started around mindset of building a business. So if you've been following the channel, you may or may not know that in 2019, I started a business that I'm doing full-time and have been doing for the last 2+ years. But starting in 1998, yes, I am dating myself, I started a business that did not work out. And even though it took me 2 years to return to corporate America, I probably, because I had 2 small children at the time, should have went back sooner than I did, because it had the impact on my finances went on for a while because it took me too long to get back to a full-time income. And it was just the mindset of going, after being on my own, going back to the corporate environment. It took me a minute to wrap my head around that. And even when I got back, it took a while to readjust, because for 2+ years, I had been on my own. I had time freedom. Even though I didn't have the income, I had the flexibility to do what I wanted with my time and how I wanted to do things in my business. So stepping back into a more structured environment was initially a little challenging, and I just transitioned over to working for more startup and mom and pop operation, where it was a little bit more flexibility and not as rigid as the corporate environment that I had been in. So, but I didn't realize for a while, I carried that fear and doubt in my subconscious of my failed business experience. So I went back to in 2000, and between then and when I left in 2019, there had been multiple business ventures. I tried quite a few things, and nothing ever really generated enough money that I could support myself. And then I think because I was still had a regular paycheck coming in, when I look back, I don't know that I actually fully committed either. I didn't get in the mindset of, this is it, I need this to work. I didn't need a plan B of corporate America, that if it didn't work, I always had the backup plan, which was what I did in 98. When I stepped out, I was like, well, if this doesn't work, I'm young enough, I can always go back, start contributing to my retirement plan. It was like I had a contingency plan. So in my subconscious, I had set up, I wasn't all in, I wasn't fully in. I had this mindset, if this doesn't work, then I'll do that. Where when I stepped in 2019, it was all or nothing. I was all in. I was like, this is it. This is my time. I'm going to do this. I'm going to make this work. There was no backup plan. There was no, if this doesn't work, I can always still come back, because my employer had told me that too. But in my mindset, it wasn't an option this time. And the moral to that story is, this is the first time that I have started and operated a business that was generating enough income for me to live on. All the other things I did, Amazon, FBA, I would have money coming in. It wasn't enough to support me full time. It did okay. But I was working full time, and it took a huge commitment to source the products, get them prepared to ship into Amazon, track your shipping, track your return, and work full time. It was a lot. And so I never really scaled it up. I always kept it at a certain level. And then after a while, the job that was paying the bills, was taking up more time on different projects. And for me, it got to be a little much. And I started to scale back on the Amazon. Then I had a blog, really wanted the blog to work, SherryLouMiller.com. But like I said, I've been doing a lot of reflecting on my business lately. Just hindsight, different things that I did over previous business ventures where I had missteps. So in that case, even though I had the blog, I was kind of pinning on Pinterest. I wasn't doing it I wasn't all in. I wasn't putting the effort that it would take to really have a business that could support me. And that's on me. And it was all about the mindset. I didn't realize it at the time, but I wasn't there. I was talking the talk, but I definitely was not walking the walk. Although I was doing things, I wasn't really committed to getting out of corporate America until it reached a point in 2018 that I set that date that I was going to leave. I set the date, told everybody I was going to leave, and then it didn't happen. And I've mentioned this before, it derailed me. Like, it deflated me. I went back into the weeds. I started thinking, about the past failures, things I had done that didn't work. I allowed myself to get low. And when I realized it, I was like, what are you doing? Like, if you want to do this, then stop wallowing, get up, figure out a plan, how you're going to get from here to there. How are you going to make your dream, your vision come true? What do you need to do? Now, that was in fourth quarter 2018. And that's when I started to test the market with Etsy, with the mugs. Because I had an Etsy store under a different name before that, and I had a couple of budget planners up, but like I said, I wasn't really driving traffic to the site. I think maybe they were up there for probably close to a year. I had like 1 or 2 sales. It wasn't doing anything. And I don't know how I thought I would retire with the minimum effort that I was applying to that. I had the blog, like nothing was really getting enough time and energy to match the goal that I had set. But when it didn't happen, I don't know why I was surprised. But when it didn't happen, it was an eye-opening experience. It's like, well, how do you think you're going to do these things unless you up your game? This is good. You may be tired. It may be frustrated. It may be all of these things. But if you want it to happen, you got to stay focused. You got to stay positive. But most importantly, you got to believe. I think to a certain level, I don't have any problem stepping out on faith. I don't. Like, I've done it many times. And I can't say that it's worked in my benefit all those times, but I have done it because to have it in my heart and not do it is worse for me than to just, it doesn't sit well with me. But in that instance, I think when I look back, I had allowed the doubt of the failed business. It was overshadowing what I really wanted for myself. And I had to accept that and recognize it. So I had to do a shift with my mindset to get myself out of that. And I'm like, when you believe in something, you believe in it. And when I didn't retire from corporate America initially, is because it didn't sit right with me. It didn't feel right. And I won't step if I don't feel it, if I don't believe. So I did the mindset shift. Then I set my intention. And this is kind of where I came. I had been living like this to a certain extent, but it's when I came up with the acronym for MICA. And then I was like, I set my intention. And then I was like, okay, you need to make some choices that align with these things. And then you need to do action and start moving towards this. So October, November 2018, by July, I was gone. I was full time. Like, I saw the possibility that Etsy could do. I knew what would tie me over till I got it off the ground. And then I had, if you've seen this video, I had a heck of a month in November, which was my second full-time month in the business. And so that gave me even more, it confirmed what I thought, that I could do this. Where before, I don't know, I had a little skepticism going on. But now I'm like, girl, you got this, you can do this. I saw the possibilities. It's like you got to know what you want. That's the first thing. Know what you want. Don't be wishy-washy. And then when I knew that, I was like, well, what am I going to do to get there? And it may not happen overnight, but these are just things you got to tell yourself. It's like, have the tough conversation with yourself, because it's your life. And if you want the things to happen that you want to happen, what's going to get you there? And that time around, I believed in myself. I stepped out on faith because the possibility, I thought, it was there. And to stay in the environment that I was in was not healthy. And I didn't even realize months later when I went for a checkup that it was affecting me physically. And so we all have choices to make. And now is no longer I still have 2 daughters, obviously, but they weren't minor children. So I could make different choices because I was only making choices for myself. Whereas years before, after the business didn't work out, I couldn't just randomly step again because the girls were getting older, my responsibilities were changing. I had to make responsible choices. And they weren't leading to me being a full-time entrepreneur, even though I had the side hustles going on. So that's what today's video is about. Don't do like I did in the first time, where I had a contingency plan. Well, if this doesn't work out, I'll just go back to work. No, if you're going to step into it, believe that it's going to work out. Put your effort into working out. It may not go in a straight line. It may not happen overnight, but commit to it. It's the same thing, the last story, with my YouTube channel. I've had other YouTube channels over the years. Some of them were created because of different groups I were in, and we were doing challenges, and they're like, oh, video's all the rage, do a video. You can get more momentum with video, blah, 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 video, video, video. Well, I was pretty nervous on camera, and it came across. And even when I started this one, the more I do it, the more relaxed I get. Is it as polished as some channels? Probably not, but it's me. I'm doing me. That's their channel. This is my channel. So people started to find value in my videos. And as that happened, it made me step more into it, because I was like, that was my goal, is to help people step into what they want to do, to provide reassurance that you have it in you, believe that you have it in you, and know that everybody's going to have doubts. You just can't set up permanent residence there. Talk yourself through the doubt. Where's the fear coming from? Why do you have the doubt? It's not that you can't allow yourself to feel that. You just don't want to stay there. And then where did the feelings come from, and how are you going to deal with them? So that's just the journey of life. That's why I say bend with the curves. Like, you're not going to be on the straight and narrow. You're going to have detours. Sometimes the detours take you in a better spot than you were headed. The destination the detour takes you to is much better than the one you thought you were on your way to. So you have to be flexible enough, and you have to be open to receive sometimes that what shows up won't match your vision. But even though it doesn't match the vision, you're open to receiving the opportunity that's presenting itself. So if you're watching my videos to step into the digital product business, just set your intention. What is it that you want from that business? What is it going to require from you? And what type of mindset do you need? Because when the journey gets tough, I've had ups and downs with my income since March 2020. But I've stayed the course. Like, you may have to pivot. Maybe you're doing something that's not really working in the current environment, so how will you work through it? But don't beat yourself up, and don't set up permanent residency in the negative space. Allow yourself to feel the emotion and keep it moving. Whatever process your business requires, just commit to that, and commit to consistency. Whatever it is that you need to do on a consistent basis. Like for digital products, if you're on Etsy, a lot of times if you're adding things to the store, it kind of, those listings initially are shown to see if they get any sales, and then Etsy will start pushing it out. Learn the platforms that you're working on. Put some effort into learning the things that you need to do, commit to the process, and then on a consistent basis, do something every day or whatever frequency it requires to move you towards the success or the vision that you have. So that's the mindset talk today, because as I keep saying, few weeks we're in fourth quarter, the momentum picks up, and depending on if you're selling things, what type of time commitment it may require for your business. If you're doing digital products on Etsy or some other platform, set realistic expectations so that you're not disappointed if it doesn't go the way you thought it was going to go. Maybe, everybody pumps up fourth quarter, but if you don't do as well, take the learning experience from it. And then the next year for fourth quarter or throughout 2022, what did you do that you could do better going forward? Because that's what I did in the fourth quarter 2018. I used that really as a period to see how the fulfillment centers worked, how long orders were taking to get out, the process of responding to emails. It was kind of, a period where I was just working out the process of the business. But that's me. Like, I need a plan. I like process. I'm process oriented. That's just how I do. I work better in that environment. But it may not be for you. That's what I'm saying. Things aren't one size fit all. So get to the mindset that this is your life, is your business. How do you want to do it? What products do you want to sell? The how-tos that I'm showing, take those processes, apply them to your own, make them your own. Because I did this video and I talked about, people say, well, how much money did you make? It's not really about how much money I made or how much money another business owner made. It's about you. Can you reverse engineer their process? Can you fine tune it? Can you make it your own? Can you do it your way and do just as well or meet your goals? You just want to take from their story the things that work for you. You're not trying to walk in their footsteps. It's just they're sharing their story and you're taking away the nuggets that will help you. So I hope this little pep talk works and it helps you in fourth quarter to either jumpstart your business, start your business, or just make a ton of money these next few months. But whatever it is, I hope you enjoy the process and you enjoy the experience, because that's what it's all about. If you're going on your own, or if you're still comfortable working for someone else, that's fine too. But just try to have the joy in your life, because the more joy and happiness you have, you'll attract more of that into your life. So have a good weekend. Enjoy the rest of your day, and I'll see you in the next video. Next week, I actually have a guest on. She's going to come on and talk about the ABCs of running a business: accounting, budgeting, and credit for small business. We haven't exactly narrowed down the topic, but it will be surrounded around the things a small business owner needs to do, and I may focus on getting credit. That may be the focus of it, or the budget, because you do still need a budget for your business too. Have a good one. Don't forget, if you got value, if you enjoyed my little pep talk, give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and hit the notification bell so that you're notified the next time I record a video. See you later. Wow, I thought that video was over. I forgot to mention, so I'm coming back to let everyone know, on October 1st, I'm launching my magazine, The Micah Lifestyle, or The Micah Lifestyle Builder. Haven't quite decided, but I am launching my magazine, and I will be featuring several people who have used the Micah Lifestyle principles in their life, their business, their finances, and I've asked them to share their stories. So when the video launches on October 1st, I will post a link. I hope you'll check it out and find inspiration, because I believe, and I've said this many times, we can all learn from someone else's stories. So the Micah Lifestyle magazine will be about asking people to share their stories so that we can change lives. We can provide motivation to people who are on the fence, inspiration to step towards your dream, to step into the things that you want for yourself, to do the principles, to to change your mindset to something that supports your vision, that's something that is positive, that moves you forward, to set your intentions, to make choices, to take action, to create habits, to do all of these things that serve you, not to stay in a space, not to do things, not to have thoughts, to feel like we're all going to have moments that we're down or we're low or we're not feeling it at that moment. But you just want to be able to address those feelings and move forward. Figure out where they're coming from. What do you need to do to allow yourself to feel it, to feel those feelings? Don't stop yourself. You need to go through the process and feel the emotions that you're feeling. But the magazine in my mind is to inspire, hopefully, new startup entrepreneurs, but not necessarily, just for people to step into their vision, to live their life, a life that's true to them. And I hope you will find that benefit from the magazine. And when it launches on October 1st on my website, you can check that out at SherryLouMiller.com, or I will come back to this description and include a link. And you can download it and read the various stories that have been submitted and have been shared with you. Now, I'll see you later. Enjoy your weekend.